Hey guys, this is Kalechi again. For those of you who may not know, and for those of you who are returning and who tune into my video, thank you. Um, this is going to be a short one. I just wanted to come on really quick to share on a chapter that most of us are familiar with, but don't really take the time to sit down and study, right? And so I'm sharing from Psalm 23, and it's just one of those chapters that God has been bringing up often recently. And so I just wanted to share some of the things that I got out of just sitting with God on this particular chapter. And my focus really will be on God and how He is the ultimate shepherd and what that looks like for us. We have a tendency to kind of recite the words of this chapter, but not really, think about what this looks like and what this means for us. So I'm just going to go through quickly on just a couple of things that, that I saw while, studying and while looking through this chapter. So without, rambling on, the first thing that I saw is that God, as our shepherd, He provides sustenance. And what does that mean? It means that whatever we need, it says here, the Lord is my shepherd, I have all that I need. It means that He will meet every one of our needs. This is a promise that He will step in whatever it is that we are worrying about, whatever it is that He knows that we need, He will supply all of that. He also says that He will let us rest in green meadows, and He leads us beside peaceful streams. And in other versions, it says He makes me to lay down beside still waters. And what that said to me is that He is the kind of shepherd, the kind of friend that provides rest. And if He has to make us get into a place of rest, if He has to make us be still, when we can get so busy, we can get so caught up with life, we can get so stuck on trying to get things done that we're running around and we don't know how to be still. But that is something that He wants to give to us. He wants to give to us rest, because it's in that space that we can experience His peace. It's in that space that we can experience Him to the maximum. It's also in that space that we can also receive refreshment. That is something else that He wants to be able to give to us. He wants to be able to renew the things that He needs to renew, rejuvenate our strength, restore our soul, revive us in the places of weaknesses. These are the things that He wants to freely give to us as our shepherd, because He knows that when we get to a point where we're able to be still before Him, when we get to a point where we can just rest before Him and receive His renewal, receive His refreshment, then we can better discern His guidance. In verse 3, it says, He guides me along right paths, bringing honor to His name. And in the Passion Translation, it also says, He opens before me pathways to God's pleasure and leads me along in His footsteps of righteousness, so that I can bring honor to His name. When we are better able to discern, when we're better able to be still in His presence, we can discern what path He's setting before us. We can discern where He wants us to go. We can discern what path He wants us to walk, and discern how He wants to lead our life, how He wants us to go, and where He wants us to go. And that puts us in a better place to be able to navigate the type of things that can come against us. Because sometimes when you're walking in the path that God sets out before you, you can be rest assured that it won't necessarily be the easiest path to walk through. You will come up against some obstacles. You will come up against hardships. You will come up against difficult situations. It says, even when I walk through the darkest valley, I will not be afraid. When we are able to discern God's guidance, when we know that He is guiding us, then we are able to stand confidently. That is another thing that He provides as our shepherd. A confidence to be able to walk out our journey, walk out the path that He has laid before us. Because we know that if it's God that put you on that journey, if it's God that says, this is the path that I want for you to walk, then you can walk with assurance. You can walk with a certain level of confidence, because you know that he is standing right there with you. He is greater than whatever it is that can come up against you as you walk up this journey, as you walk up this path. And nothing is greater than him, and he is protecting. And you're able to just walk, with more certainty than if you were doing this on your own, right? And when you're able to walk through and get to the other side, then we have access to his provision. Here it says that you prepare a feast for me in the presence of my enemies, and you honor my anointing. You honor me by anointing my head with oil. There's a level of influence. There's a level of reach that comes with walking with God and walking down the path that he sets before you. It might not be the easiest path, but when you're able to make it to the other side, there is a table that he sets. There is a place of honor that he sets. There is provision that he sets for us as his people who follow him even through the darkest paths. There is something that he sets there, provision that he has for us. And it's usually in the presence of that which has tried to stop us from making our way forward, right? And he's a God that does it abundantly. He does not do things half-heartedly. He does it all abundantly. So not only is he providing, he's doing everything that he's doing abundantly, and we can be sure that it will overflow. Whatever he has for us, we can be sure that it will overflow. And it is in this space that we can then experience the breadth and the length of God's goodness. It says, surely your goodness and unfailing love will pursue me and all the days of my life. His benevolence. He will be good no matter what. It is in this space that we can come to understand who God is as a shepherd. He is good. His nature is good. That means even as we walk through all the things that we walk through, even as life hits us, because life has a tendency to throw all kinds of things at us. But when we're walking down the path that is set by God, when we're walking with God, when we're walking aware of who he is as our shepherd, as our good shepherd, then we know that it is all for our good. We know that we have access to this promise that nothing good will we lack, right? And then when all of this is said and done, it says, and I will live in the house of the Lord forever. When all of this is said and done, after he's done taking care of us here, after he's done guiding, leading, protecting, refreshing, providing for us, we also have access to him eternally. He provides eternity for us. We have access to his house for eternity. So he's with us, and he has all of this for us while we are here. But not only that, he also provides an inheritance for us when we are done and when we leave this earth. And it just brings so much encouragement to my heart. Reading all of this, just knowing who is over me. And that is the role of a shepherd. When you think about a shepherd and his sheep, you think about someone who these sheep have to be dependent on for everything. And who better to have to be dependent on than God, So this is not like this is not anything that you haven't heard before. This is just sort of like a reminder, because I know that sometimes when you go through life and you go through hard situations, it's very easy to forget. It's very easy to forget who God says he is. It's very easy to forget who he has been. But my hopes is that in bringing this and in reminding you who you have on your side, you can better walk through the things that are surrounding you. You can better walk through where God has set you on. You can better do the things that he has called you to do. So I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you all next time.